Hello everyone, welcome to our physical education YouTube channel. Today we are discussing about physical activity and leadership training. Leadership qualities and role of a leader. Now discussing about first qualities of a leader. Qualities of a leader: intelligence, firm determination, cooperative and sympathetic behavior, good personality, knowledge of the subject, good art of oratory, sociable, emotionally balanced, impartial, sincerity, honest, courageous, and regular and punctual. First one, intelligence. A leader must have sharp intellectual level and deep insight. He should have foresightedness. Intelligent leaders have good thinking power and anticipation. He should take quick and right decisions for which intelligence is required. Some definitions according to G.D. Stoddard. Intelligence is ability to take activities that are characterized by difficulty, complexity, abstractness, economy, adaptiveness to a goal, social value, emergency of originals to maintain such activities under the conditions that demand a concentrate of energy, and resistance to emotional forces. The quotation explains that how intelligence is helpful in leading the group. A leader having good thinking power can reply the questions asked by the group. Next, one more author, Woodworth, explaining thinking as mental exploration for finding out of the solution of a problem. While leading any group, reasoning quality of a leader always help the group to understand the concept of effectively. Problem solving can only be done with the help of the good reasoning power. That is why Mayer explained that reasoning, productive thinking in the previous experience are also organized or combined in a new way to solve the problems. So in the end we can conclude that the leader is good in intelligence. Reasoning and thinking he will be more effective in the implementation of the task for which he acts the leader. Second one, firm determination. The leader must have the quality of firm determination. He should remain determined through the learning process for which he is leading. The firmness of determination of leader should be strong as possible. A determined leader never leaves his task halfway. Firm determination has good impact on the group. The group follows the leader with determination. For example, if the coach is determined the implement of the training schedule, only then he will be able to implement the task in the effective way for progressive learning of skills. Third one, cooperative and sympathetic behavior. A leader should be cooperative and sympathetic towards his followers. Such attitude can win the hearts of the followers, which will be very helpful in the achieving the desired goal. The sympathetic and affectionate attitude of the leader is always liked by the group. The leader processes remains interesting. Tense relationship between the leaders and groups always put adults in the processes of learning. The love and affection displayed by the leaders is always replied in the same manner. Third one, good personality. A leader must possess good personality traits which can influence the group effectively. He should have a charming personality. A leader possessing good quality can easily adjust himself to the environment and various situations acute the learning processes. Good personality is always admired by the group. Dynamic personality leaves good impression on the group. Next one, knowledge of the subject. The leader should have vast knowledge and proper understanding of the subject. The deep knowledge of the subject always impression the followers. The leader must be equipped with the latest knowledge and research. For example, if a coach is training high jumpers and is used old techniques like western roll, scissor style and straddle, the group will not attend him the interest. On the other side, if the coach training the high jumpers with the latest technique like Passbury Plug, the techniques will automatically be motivated towards the students. So the leader must have latest knowledge, equipment, data, materials, references, etc. For impressive teaching, which will be helpful in the effective learning. Next one, good art of oratory. A leader must have good art of oratory. He should have plenty of words to express his ideas. A well prepared speech can influence the group effectively. A leader must have command in the language and vast vocabulary and can easily communicate with the group. A good speech given before any match can be very helpful in the psychological motivation of the players. It can create enthusiasm in the group. Next one, sociable. A leader should have social qualities so that he can interact with the group effectively. He can should extrovert by nature that helps in understanding the minds of the followers. A socialized leader as always sacrificing instinct the common good. The basic instinct always impression the followers. The social qualities displayed by the leaders is always liked and imitated by the group. Next one, emotionally balanced. Since leader has teach different individuals, he should be emotionally balanced. He should have tolerance as well as the calm temperament. Emotional characteristics like fear, anger, jealousy, anxiety present in like fear hinder in the implementation of common tasks. These emotional disturbances often consume too much of mental energy, which can be used to constructive work. Next one, impartial. A leader must have unbiased attitude which can be confidence of the followers. Besides, attitude always creates irreverently within the group, which can shatter the group. For example, if an umpire or referee is acting a leader of the teams and a partial attitude towards the particular team, this attitude is never liked by spectators as well as the other teams. This attitude can make the leaders ineffective and not followed by the group. Next one, sincerity. A good leader must do his work sincerely. He should be sincere towards his work and followers. A sincere advice is always followed by the group with great interest because the followers feel that is sincere advice is going to help them to great extent. Next one, honest. Honest leader is always led by a group. Honesty has good impression on the group. Honest leader will always utilize the material and funds for the better learning of the group, which is always welcomed by a group. Next, courageous. A good leader should be courageous by nature, which is essential to rule over the group. He should be authorities in nature which can direct the group effectively towards the attainment of the goal. Next one, regular and punctual. Irregularity has bad impact on the group, so a good leader must possess regularity and punctuality. There are many opportunities to lead in the field of physical education, like captain of the cricket who acts wisely, sincerely, impartially, and effectively. Even leadership training is provided when a leader is appointed for the warming up. Sometimes organizations of competitions also help in development of the leadership qualities. Next, role of a leader. A leader possessing good qualities can lead to effectively and efficiently. If group is guided by the ideal leader, then the group will learn the achieve the goal. See, role of the leader. First one, leader acts as an organizer and distributes the work among the followers. This quality helps the group to work in the systematic manner. It saves energy and time. Second one, leader plans the future training instructions. If planning is done in advance, then the easy to execute these plans. Third one, since leader is experienced and expert in the field for which he or she is leading this helps to group the understand difficult steps or questions. The leader with his or she Experts' opinions removes confusion and misconceptions of the member of the group. Next, whenever a group is moving out, the leader can act the respective respectives. Leaders helps in producing ideas, views, and opinions of the group. Next, leaders acts as model and can demonstrate his or her qualities in front of the group. With help of imitation, group can learn the group task. Next one, the processes of motivation is required in any kind of learning. That is why motivation is considered as golden road to learning. From the beginning to the end of the task, at every step motivation is required. Leader plays an important role of the motivating role in the motivating the group. Next, creating leaders through physical education. Creating leaders through physical education. Leadership qualities are developed through participation in sports. Moreover, in sports, so many opportunities come where you have to act like a leader. Great players act as a leader who not only set high standards but also take responsibility to demonstrate the skills. Leadership opportunities and training can be found in the all sporting activities. Leadership can encourage the support individuals. Leadership may or not be captains. Though captaincy is the ultimate from the leadership sports, provide opportunities to develop in the communication and team building. These skills enables people to function effectively as leaders. Participating in sports often develops confidence and also trains individuals to make quick decisions. While creating leaders, following points: leadership styles, team building, decision making, communication. First one, leadership styles. Effective leaders always assess situations and decide quickly. Playing sports provides many opportunities to recognize when they behave positively. For example, when a soccer player sees a chance to score a goal, he makes the kick. In this case of leader is needed to consult the teammates before making a decision. Playing a team sports often involves developing approach to tackle the opponent. So while creating leaders, it must be noticed that the leadership styles is effective or productive. Second one, team building. Playing and coaching sports always develop unity of team. The team building skills is the most important quality of leaders. The quality of inspire others and focus on achieving objectives is also important for the effective leader. In case of team games, team spirit is very vital to excel in the sports. While creating leaders should be taken into consideration that the quality of team building is very important. Next one, decision making. Sports helps to learn to make decisions by observing and interrupting information quickly. A leader makes decisions to find strategies to win. Playing sports prepare leaders to influence others, set realistic goals, and solve problems efficiently to win a competitive advantages. In the processes of creating leaders, it must be observed that the leaders must have quality of making wise decision in minimum possible time. Next one, communication. Leaders must possess excellent communication skills. Players often communicate among themselves and also with the coaches. A leader can effectively communicate with teammates and coach. For example, a baseball pitcher and catcher communicate using signals instead of speaking. Finding the ways to communicate effectively or efficiently in any situation often helps leaders to succeed. While creating leaders must be taken into account the possesses the good communication skills. Good communication skills example: captain of the team, coach of the team, manager of the team, officials of the team or officials of the match, leaders for warming up or any training session, sports organizer, demonstrate for the mass drills. Next, meaning, objectives and types of adventurous sports. Meaning, objectives, and types of adventurous sports: rock climbing, trekking, river rafting, mountaineering, surfing, and paragliding. First one, adventurous sports. Adventurous sports have been traced for thousands of years. The meaning of adventurous sports is in its name. Thrilling and adventurous sporting activities are known as the adventurous sports. They are also defined as outdoor sports in which participants competes in natural environment against himself or others. The degree of difficulty can be increased, and when difficult adventurous activities are done, they are known as extreme sports. Extreme sports can be considered a subcategory of adventurous sports. The adventurous sports are also action sports. Adventurous sports, the adventurous sports are challenging as the risky and competitive. First one, adventurous sports on mountains. See this picture. The mountains are the places of adventurous sports. During the summer, the adventurous sports like mountain biking and rock climbing are done. On a mountain bike, riders tackle rough terrain and downhill trails, and get lot of fun. In rock climbing, the climbers scale natural rocks formation using their hands and the few pieces. Have specialized equipment to prevent fatal falls. Enjoy as challenging event. Second one, adventurous sports in air. Many adventurous activities like skydiving, paragliding, buggying, canoeing, jumping, hang gliding, high wire, or tightrope, walking, sky surfing, and etc. are often liked by adventurous people. Next, water sports. In the water sports, many activities like cliff diving, river rafting, barefoot water skiing, windsurfing, scuba diving, etc. Surfers use extremely long boards, but it becomes more challenging. When they use a much smaller boats, the extreme canoeing is done with the boat having typically narrow and wooden boat. Next, winter sports. During the winter season, adventurous sports enthusiasts reach to mountains covered by snow. Just similar to rock climbing, ice climbing involves scaling the side of the frozen waterfalls or solid ice or glacier. Skiing is also a famous adventurous sporting in activity. Next, objectives of adventurous sports. Since adventurous sports involves risk and challenging, it is very interesting and appealing. See some objectives: to improve positive attitude, to build self-confidence, to develop concentration and attention, to improve curiosity, to channelize surplus energy, to develop leadership qualities, to develop physical fitness, to develop social relations, to provide recreation. First one, to improve positive attitude. Adventure sports develop zeal to conquer difficult activities, and this develops positive attitude. Participants attain optimistic attitude. Second one, to build self-confidence. The adventurous sports builds self-confidence as after doing challenging tasks, they become fearless. This removes the negative experience of frequent failures. To develop self-esteem and self-confidence through the positive sporting experience, participation to the adventurous sports is very vital. Next one, to develop concentration and attention. Through a series of risky experience, each participation from habit of extended attention. This increases ability to concentrate. Next one, to improve curiosity. Every individual is given opportunities to discover qualities, dimensions, and relationships amidst a rich variety of stimulating situations. This develops curiosity, which is essential elements in creative learning. Next, to channelize surplus energy. Every individual possesses surplus energy which can lead towards destructive activities, but due to participation in adventure activities, it facilitates proper utilization of energy. Next, to develop leadership qualities. During the participation in adventurous sports, individuals have to lead the helps in promoting leadership qualities. Next one, to develop physical fitness. The adventurous sports leads to the development of the physical fitness level. To develop physical fitness, it is essential to develop components of like speed, flexibility, muscular strength, muscular endurance, aerobic capacity, and anaerobic capacity. Adventurous sports develops all these components. Next, to develop social relations. Adventurous sports, especially coming, give an opportunity to reside together and same places in tents. This develops qualities of cooperation, tolerance, consideration, trust, and responsibility when faced with the group and team, problem solving tasks. Last one, to provide recreation. All adventurous sports have creativity with enjoyment. Participation in these recreations individual to a great extent. Next, rock climbing. It is an activity which it is an activity in which participants climb up and move across the rock-like walls. The aim of rock climbing is to reach the predefined route without the falling. After climbing, the participants have the each and starting position. The degree of difficulty depends upon the length and angle of evaluation of the rocks. Rock climbing competitions are designed in such a way that the competitors reach the finish point as quickly as possible. It is very important to the learn the techniques for the rock climbings, as it is can dangerous also. To make it to safer and special kind of equipment used. Next, types of rock climbing. Rock climbing as adventurous sports can be done indoors and artificial made plywood climbing structures are done by the outdoors or cliffs and natural rocks. First one, traditional rock climbing. In traditional climbing, the participants are connected by rope and harnesses scale. A rock face carrying rocks, a specialized equipment. The climbers place wedges, nets, and other forms of protection from their rocks into the rock. The rope is hooked to the pieces of protection to the climbers' falls. The rope catches them. Second one, sports rock climbing. Sports climbing resemble with the traditional climbing to greater extent, except that the protective pieces are permanently bolted into the rock. Next, indoor climbing. Indoor climbing is like sports rock climbing. Indoor climbing. Indoor climbing is like sports climbing and is performed on indoor climbing structures made of the plywood or concrete. Artificial handholds are fixed on the walls. Next, trekking. Trekking is known as the combination of hiking and walking activity. This activity is done for many days and generally planned away from the urban areas. Trekking makes a journey to foot, especially through mountains. A trek is a long adventurous journey undertaken on foot in areas or means transports are not generally available. Trekking should not be confused with mountaineering. However, trekking can be done on risky mountains or make it adventurous, but it is not aimed to reach its peaks. The mountaineering is an activity to climbing the mountains or reach their peaks. First one, types of trekking. Tea house trekking. Tea house trekking is the known as doing trekking by eating and sleeping at tea house. In this type of the trekkers trek and every day they will get the tea house to eat and sleep. It is a good opportunity to know about the local people and culture, tradition and the day-to-day lifestyle. It gives a good chance to have interaction with the local people. The trekkers also enjoy local meals. Second one, camping trekking. In this type of trekkers carry all food items and tents. All sleep tents, the staff cooks meals as for the decide the menu. Grading trekking. First one is a trek. This kind of trekking is meant for the beginners. Beginners only is a trek. The trek is done on the route which does not involve difficult climbing. The duration lasts up to 7 days. The easy treks are considered as full access of the tea houses and low altitude. Second one, tea house trekking. Second one, moderate trek. The trekkers face for challenging routes as compared to easy trek. They are longer and the last up to 10 days. The route has moderate altitudes. This is moderate trek. Next, strenuous trek. Strenuous trek the route is selected to high altitude use to 5000 meters. They generally last up to 15 days. They also involve same steep climbing, but this treks does not involve the rock climbing sort of the activity. Next, difficult trek. Difficult trek are suitable only real adventure seekers. The route has same steep accents, high altitude. Here, the possibility of rope climbing is also necessary. These treks might last up to 20 to 40 days. Next, techniques of trekking. Though trekking does not involve any great skills, there are some basic tips to make it enjoyable. Maintain pace, rhythmic trekking, use of trekking sticks. First one, maintain pace. The trek should not be done with a speed. The pace should not be adjusted for a long day ahead. The pace should not be too slow or too fast. Don't start out too fast in the excitement on the first day. Take it easy, warm up and get into your rhythm as soon as you can. Ready. Second one, rhythmic trekking. The trekking should not be done with the rhythm. The unscheduled breaks should be avoided. Generally, plan a hike for 30 minutes, take a break. Last one, use of trekking sticks. The trekkers use sticks to facilitate better and efficient trekking. The rhythm for stick movement becomes natural if the arms are moved in a swing. When the arm swings forward, place sticks tip firmly on the ground. As the legs shift, weight push down the stick. This reduces some of the weight going into the knees. On descents, the sticks are placed ahead to the take weight. It is best to use the sticks with wrist straps. Showing the picture, by using these straps, the better comfort and achieved rather than the ending with achieving wrists and hands. Next, river rafting. It is the challenging recreational outdoor activity. It is done with the inflatable rafts as shown in the picture. In this activity, small groups and people float down river and raft. Generally, the crew consists of six seater, the raft of pedals. The development of this activity as the adventurous sports has become popular since mid 1970. The multi-persons raft is propelled by single-bladed pedals. It is considered an extreme sports as it is can be fatal. The trip can be last up to few hours or it can be combined with the camping that may last for several days. Most common rafts 3 to 7 or 5 meters. They are rectangular in shape and are inflatable kayak. The rafts are made the nylon fabric and are coated by nephron. See different rafts. First, see this picture. This is ore raft. The ore rafts are 16 to 18 feet in length. These rafts have a metal frame and padded seats up to front. The ore raft 3 to 5 seats. Next one, pedal raft. Pedal rafts are smaller than ore raft and are more exciting. The pedal rafts are slightly smaller than ore raft and are about 12 to 14 feet length. These rafts carry to 6 to 8 people. Next, oar assisted raft. It is combination of the oar and pedal. Generally, this is used to beginners. The experienced guide sits at the back and uses oars. The other uses pedals to get experiences of rafting. This raft usually carry 4 to 6 people. Next, cutter raft. Cutter rafts are 40 to 16 feet in length. Usually they are designed for the one person, but they can accommodate up to 5. One person or 5 persons. This can be seen in the picture. Next, inflatable kayak. The inflatable rafts look like a kayak. These lightweight rafts are usually about 10 feet in length. Most of them are only for one person. However, some kayaks are made for 2 persons as shown in the picture. Because of the lightweight and the fact that can be deflated, rolled up to stored and can be transported easily. Next, rig. Rig, two types, J rig and S rig, are two largest whitewater rafts. Both are constructed from the long pontoons and metal frame connects them. These are by far the largest whitewater rafts and are about 20 feet length. They are carry up to 30 people. Next, techniques of the river rafting. The river rafting is water adventure sports, mainly uses oars and pedals. Techniques for oars, techniques for pedals. Techniques for oars. When in rafting, oars are being used, must be noticed that it is not just about arms movement, but entire upper body and legs all play a major role in the providing the raft sufficient power to run. Two is also needed to lean slightly forward, press the blade in the water for greater control. Next, technique for pedals. The pedalers should be spread evenly on both sides of the raft to make a proper balance. The pedaler's inside hand is the one that grips the top of the pedal. The outside hand holds the stem of the pedals. The outside hands pull backward to push backward to move the raft to the right pedalers and the right pedals. Backward while those on the left to forward pedals. Next, mountaineering. It is the adventurous sports that leads to climbing of mountains to its peak. Mountains climbing started in Europe. The tallest peak in the North America located on Mount Kinley was climbed in 1930 Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay of Nepal became first climb world's highest mountain, Mount Everest in 1953. Mountaineers always try to conquer a tall peak, but it becomes more challenging when new routes are explored. Techniques of mountaineering. Mountaineers use climbing ropes and attach it to them with wrist harnesses on ice slopes, and climbers use ice axes and set of metal spikes. These spikers are also crampons and are attached to the bottom of shoes as shown in the picture. Next, surfing. Surfing is the sports of riding waves in the standing or horizontal position. It is performed ocean, river, man-made created waves and glide across the surface of the water until the wave breaks and loses its energy. During the suffering from surfers, riders stand on the surfboards and steer the water nearly parallel to the beach towards the shore. The ability to balance and plan and rapidly moving water and pretty wonderful. In the old times, the Awavan surfboards were 10 to 16 feet long per made firm solid. It was very difficult to carry from the breakers to the shore, but latest surfboards are made for fiber, which are lighter and stronger. Next, types of surfing. First one, shortboard. Shortboards are 5 to 7 feet and are the recommended for the fast and steep waves. They range from 5 to 7 feet long. Second one, fishboard. They are shorter and wider and flatter than the shortboards. They go faster in slower breaking waves and surf more smoothly than shortboards. Third one, funboard. Funboards are general term for all surfboards and they are best for the beginners. They are 7 and 9 feet long. 7 to 9 feet long. Next one, longboard. Usually they are 8 to 11 feet long and are easy to pedal and catch waves on. Next one, hybrid. They are the combination of two similar boards type, for example, shortboard and longboard. Next, paragliding. It is generally considered that paragliding is jumping off from mountains with the parachute or being pulled into the air behind the boat or foresail. Pilot fly off mountains, they never jump up. The movement of air into the canopy inflates it and gives its aerodynamic shape. As the paraglider is soft and can easily be packed into the bag and carried around. Its portability is its main advantages. Types of paragliding: non-powered paragliding, powered paragliding. See this picture, first one, non-powered, without motor paragliding. It is done with assistance with natural wind, only natural wind. The pilot runs few steps and paraglider gets inflated and then files up the mountain. Second one, powered paragliding. It is also known as paramotoring. In this type of paragliding, the pilot wears motor on his back, which provides enough thrust to take off. The advantages of powered paragliding that it can be launched in still air. Next, safety measures to prevent sports injuries. Sports injuries are commonly caused due to overuse or over twisting or overstretching, collision, etc. The injuries can be mild to severe. Most of the injuries are caused due to lack of knowledge. Sports injuries can be prevented to great extent. C. Injuries: proper warming up, conditioning, protective sports gear, proper footwear, adequate rest, proper use of right techniques, appropriate nutrition, sports equipments and play fields, playing under rules and regulations. The first one, proper warming up. Proper warming up is important for the prevention of injuries. The stretching exercise done during the warm up session often prevent injuries such as sprain and strain. After proper warming up, the body becomes ready to bear any sort of the physical stress. Only begin more vigorous activity after having warmed up thoroughly. Second one, conditioning. The specific muscles are developed for particular game during conditioning program. Most of the injuries can be prevented by doing regular conditioning exercises designed specifically for particular sports. The muscular are conditioned so that they are fit to bear any sort of the strain. Next one, protective sportswear or sports gear. By wearing protective sports equipments like elements, head guards, leg guards, chest guards, the sports injuries can be prevented. The best example, hockey goalkeeper. Next one, proper footwear. Particularly in athletes, many events involve long distance running. The injuries like stress fractures are prevented by using well fitted, cushioned, and supportive footwear. The proper footwear can prevent injuries of muscles and joints and tendons. Next, adequate rest. Most of injuries are caused due to overuse and it can be prevented by proper and adequate rest. Due to accumulation of fatigue, the techniques get affected adversely and that may lead to an injury. Athletes doing more intense training have more. Next one, proper use of right techniques. By using the accurate techniques, one can reduce the risk of overuse injuries, such as tendons and stress fractures. The injuries like tennis elbow are due to improper techniques and overuse. If you are unsure about the correct technique, a qualified sports coach can give to advice. If you exercise in a gym or leisure center, ask a fitness instructor or member of gym staff or help. Take helps. Next one, appropriate nutrition. A balanced diet which helps to recovering often protects from sports injuries caused due to overuse. Carbohydrates refuel the muscles and proteins build muscles. Next, sports equipments and playfields. The equipments and playfields having all safety measures can save a lot of sports injuries. For example, running on synthetic track as compared to mud track has less chances to injuries in synthetic track. In basketball, safety pads and poles can protect the injuries. Last one, playing under rules and regulations. The rules are formulated keeping in view the safety of the sportsman. Rules of conduct including illegal blacks and tackles are enforced to keep athlete way injury free. Many games have rule of nobody contact to avoid injuries. By playing under disciplines, the injuries can be prevented. Sports injuries occur under under various circumstances. The frequency and severity depends on particular game. The facial injuries will be more in boxing as compared to other games. Conditioning of athletes can also prevent injuries to a great extent. Next, some MCQ questions. First question, which is not a good quality of leader? Bad orator. Question number 2, adventure sports are also known as adventure sports called action sports also. Which of the following is not the adventure sports in air? Scuba diving, water sports. Fourth question, which of the following is not water sports? Skydiving, that is air sports. Next, question number 5, which is not an object of adventure sports? None of the above. What is the length of over raft? 16 to 8 feet. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay climbed Mount Everest in 1951. For how many days is the trek should be at last? This is up to 7 days. Next, powered paragliding is attached with motor. Thank you.